Hey horror fans, welcome back to Room 237, coming at you with kind of a random review. This is a film that I've scrolled past on Netflix, I don't know how many times, and then finally decided to check it out, and I'm actually glad I did, because I enjoyed this film. It's not what I thought it was going to be, but there's a lot of great things I can say about it, and that is 2015's 13 Cameras, which is a film by Victor Zarcoff. And this film is, okay, what I thought it was going to be, I thought it was going to be like Paranormal Activity, but with some sort of creeper watching the cameras. Don't know how to explain that or what exactly I thought about that idea, but that's what I thought I was getting into. In fact, it's not even found footage at all, which is nice. I mean, I like the occasional found footage film. Most of them suck, especially supernatural ones. But I would say it's definitely like a psychological horror film. Excuse me. It's not a home invasion film, but it sort of has. It's like a home invasion with like a whole different direction. It's like home invasion from a distance, because it's basically about this guy who, in the thumbnail on Netflix, I thought it was like an elderly Anthony Hopkins, which is not the cover that I just showed you. So for people in the comments, it would be like, you think that looks like Anthony Hopkins? That doesn't look like him at all. But first, I'm going to get some other films. So Victor Zarcoff he's written 13 Cameras, its sequel, 14 Cameras, which is also on Netflix. And he only directed 13 Cameras. Okay. It stars Neville Archambault as Gerald, the creeper behind the cameras. Who, I want to see what else. Solomon Grundy. There's a movie about Solomon. It can't be the. Oh no, something different. It's a Batman villain named Solomon Grundy. I haven't seen anything else he's been in, but he plays this guy named Gerald who has this house that he rents out to this young married couple who are parents to be. And he set up 13 cameras around the house before they move in. And it's not as, like, the whole movie isn't like this Paranormal Activity voyeuristic look through found footage lens. I mean, it's a traditional narrative, and it mostly follows the married couple, Ryan and Claire, played by PJ McCabe and Brianne Moncrief, which I actually like, because this isn't like a serial killer movie. I know people probably, maybe like Rob Zombie fans, will probably be like, it's boring, he didn't do anything, he didn't stab anybody. But the movie isn't really about how he's watching these people. It's actually sort of a side note, because and what I think works about this film is, I will say the creepy moments, I mean, it does happen more often than Paranormal Activity, but it is, a lot of something else, then we get the bits that we want to see. It's basically, we're following this married couple. The husband isn't happy. He's actually seeing someone else. He's seeing a woman from work. And the woman from work is kind of trying to butt in, trying to sabotage the marriage with phone calls and showing up at the house. And it's mostly, the movie's basically their life. But on a side note, there's this voyeur watching them through these cameras. And why that works, as a side note, instead of up front, instead of being the whole movie, because we'll see some stuff then once in a while, when things get intimate, like when he's with his girlfriend and they're in the shower together, or when him and his wife are having sex for the first time, I think since her pregnancy. That's when the music will kick in and we'll see him sitting wherever it is he is, just watching the cameras. And this guy is creepy. He looks like the stereotypical creepy slumlord or creepy voyeuristic peeping Tom kind of guy. And I mean, this actor, you look up pictures of him in real life, he really went for this. I feel like this performance is more like what John Travolta wished he could have accomplished with The Fanatic, as far as the creep factor goes, and like what he's just done to himself. So pretty much just showing him watching them as certain parts of the film, it really makes the audience feel like voyeurs and spies as well, because sometimes you even forget that he's doing that, because the movie does really focus on, this guy who's cheating on his pregnant wife, and, the pressures of everything, and it could all be crumbling around him. And the actors do their job. I mean, it's not, it's pretty believable. It's believable acting. I can't say you sympathize with the husband that much, if at all. But, they at least feel like realistic, as harsh as that sounds. I don't even know why I said that word, but, the actors did their job. And the characters are enough to be invested in. And so that's why I think it works that way, because when he does pop up and it shows him like breathing heavy or like licking his lips when he gets to see something, it kind of makes us feel like we're spying as well, because that aspect of the movie isn't always up front. And of course, in the house, he does have what's called the owner's closet, which I've lived in a place where the owner has like his own basement where he would just stop by and go down wherever he wanted. But they don't know it's a basement. So they would like invite him over to fix the toilet. And we even get the idea that he put a toilet down in the bowl. And I'm going to say spoilers, even though it's from 2015. But I know this review isn't very informative, but there's really not much to the story. It really is just this married couple about to have a kid. They're not very happy. He's cheating on her. There's the whole love and drama aspect that's pretty much the main story. But there's this creepy guy who's installed cameras in all these personal areas of the house, and he's watching them. It doesn't get too gratuitous with it. It shows it just enough. It feels just enough and I think it does work better since you forget. At least I did. It kind of felt like I was watching something else, and then I'll just be like, oh, yeah, there's a creeper watching them. But I think that works. But on the other hand, it could have been interesting. It would have been harder, but it would have been interesting to have a movie like Buried with Ryan Reynolds or Locke with Tom Hardy. I know those aren't horror films, but, just on this guy all the time, watching various screens. I think this guy would have had the performance. I think it would have been able to happen with him, but I like the direction it took. I'm glad it didn't go full Paranormal Activity on us. I just don't think that would have worked. The music is really, you know, it's subtle. It's like this dark, ominous sound, but then when something gets really intense, it's really loud yet simple. So it makes a jump scare even feel intense. So that was kind of nice. I know a lot of people are going to say this movie was boring. I'm sure. Probably the same people that think Blair Witch is boring because nothing happens. Yet they like Paranormal Activity for some fucking reason. Or Grave Encounters, which is even more boring. Yes. We don't really... He doesn't seem like a serial killer. He just seems more like a pervert. And I know there's going to be people wanting, you know, a Rob Zombie psychobilly, you know, blood coming out of his mouth, saying, fuck, shit, fuck, you know, fucking shit in the cock ass, fucking camera in the pussy, and the camera in the shit, and I'll film on my dick. You know, hardcore stuff. But, you know, I do like movies like this, too. You know, pretty much movies they find boring, I really like. I thought this movie really worked. It played the... It did feel, you know, like a home invasion movie. He is invading their home. I know it's not. It's not home invasion, so I can't call it that. Well, in my opinion, it is home invasion. No, it's not. So, your opinion doesn't matter. That's me being an asshole. This is one of those movies kind of like Cam, Blumhouse's Cam, except for the twist and the ending to Cam, where it is a very real fear. I mean, you'll never know moving into a place. You'll never know if they have cameras. You'll never know if someone has something set up on you. And the fact that your own home is, you know, no longer sacred, and this creep has all this access to your most intimate and private moments is a scary idea. And I thought this movie played off of that very well. Now I'm going to get into spoilers. Do I recommend it? Yes. Definitely sit through it. I mean, I'm glad they did. Maybe 14 cameras will and don't tell me in the comments because I'm getting ready to watch it. But maybe since we now know who this guy is, maybe 14 cameras will go the character study route. You know, Taxi Driver or Joker, you know, just, or for horror movie's sake, a Maniac. Focus on him. But I'd rather keep this voyeuristic look. And I thought, you know, being used as a minimum as possible really helped seal the effect and make it work. I do recommend it. Spoilers. It's not very often you get a movie where evil wins. Now, of course, the girlfriend does come over to tell the wife that shit's been going on. He knows, so he takes her out to dinner. So the girlfriend's alone in the house. You know, Gerald knows because he can see her. He goes over there. He knocks her. He abducts her. But he keeps her captive in the basement, in the locked, private, you know, owner's closet basement, which he has soundproofed with foam and insulation. Which adds a whole other layer to the film because now he's watching them, but he's also watching her and making sure she's chained up and can't do anything. He doesn't have very many lines in the film, which I think works, but his tics, you know, just the way his mouth is always open and he just has that blank stare, the way he walks, when he does talk, the way he just stares at people, you know, he really does the actor did a great job with this just mentally perverted person. Eventually, the girlfriend does get out. So now it's this thing where, you know, her name is Anna or Hannah. Her and Claire hide in the bathroom. Ryan has a bat. Gerald does manage to overpower Ryan, kill him with the bat, drowns Hannah in the pool. And yeah, it does have the cliche of the cell phone not working inside, but they foreshadow that in the beginning of the film. And so then he's with the police and is saying it's been a few months since he's heard from his tenants. They just up and left. They even check out the basement. There's nothing down there. So it just seems like they up and left, vanished without a trace. But then we see him at this other place. He opens the door, tosses a cheeseburger in. We hear a woman screaming. He gets back in his van, and when he looks over, there's a baby. Which we can probably assume it's Claire's baby. He kept her captive till she gave birth. Now he has the baby. Now he probably has her captive still. It's not often you get a movie where evil wins. And I know a lot of people like to be edgelords, like, the movie is awesome because evil won, yeah. I'm a metalhead. I don't know why I did that, but I like it when evil wins because dark and evil, and I like to think I'm fucked up. Yeah, people are scared of me. No, they're not. They laugh at you. Movie where evil wins, the character has to be interesting and the ending has to be interesting. Even though Hannibal Lecter is not the main evil in Silence of the Lambs, he does get a victory at the end of that. And some of them are kind of cliche, like The Collector, which I really like that movie. It's kind of downbeat. People can say Hereditary because the demon won. Like, I've even heard someone say, that movie's awesome because the demon won. It's just like, yeah, good luck with that, pal. I don't think a movie is good just because evil wins. It has to be good. It has to be interesting. Or else it just feels downbeat. Here, I would say it was less interesting than it could have been. I did hear this one idea someone shared in a video. You know, the girlfriend was chained up in his basement. Could he have made it look like, oh, killed her in the basement, that he gets sent to jail? That whole problem is taken care of. He gets away with it because it's the perfect crime over here. Bit of a Curse of Chucky downbeat framing ending, but this movie was way better than Curse of Chucky. So overall, I know this review's kind of been all over the place. I started a new job this week. I'm not used to it. I'm kind of tired, so I'm kind of finding my bearings. I know there's been other movies like this, like people watching people through cameras, the voyeuristic, modern age voyeur kind of film. But I really liked this one. I liked the found footage when it was there, or the footage he was watching. I liked how little they put him in there. It made every scene feel just as creepy as the last one. It didn't allow us to get used to him. I should have said that earlier before spoilers. But I'm pretty excited to check out 14 Cameras. I have a feeling it's going to be a typical sequel, just more of the same shit. But I guess we'll find out. So that's my review for 13 Cameras. Thank you for watching.